Well, good morning. It is Tuesday, October 19th, 74th day on trail. Well, I didn't show you my campsite last night. I ended up, trail was back here coming on this ridge, and then campsite was right on the trail. I could see those hardwood trees back there from up on the trail. I could see a bunch of campsites in there. So I went in on there, and I was just setting my tent up, and I hear something. And I said, what the hell? And then I hear something else. And so I go on, set my tent up, and all of a sudden I turn around, there's an Asian kid standing right behind me. And he's smiling. He heard me in there, thought I was like a bear. I thought he was a bear coming. We were laughing. Then all of a sudden, 3 more people show up. So we had the Sobo reunion last night. 5 of us were camped together. I told them they were the first people I've camped with since the Sierras. It was, let's see if I can think of their names. Badwater, Numb, Toes, who I met in VVR, and, oh hell, what was the other girl's name? Oh, Pancake, and I've heard of her name before. So anyway, we had a good time talking, catching up, and so I didn't even, hell, it was dark time. We all started cooking and eating. And so Toes, he was the one that was hiking with the 2 people from Tennessee, Tuttles and Cookie, and they all got off trail. That's the ones I was supposed to meet in Bishop. They ended up going to the Colorado Trail. Hell, there's sites over here too. Wow, campsites everywhere down here. So anyway, I'm blabbing. We had a good time, enjoyed it. They left at 7. It's 9:20. I'm just leaving. It got super wet last night because those rain clouds in the air. Everybody's tent was soaked, and it did get down to freezing. So tents were all iced over, and so I went ahead and let mine dry this morning because the sun came up. And as soon as the sun came up, it was like it was raining in my tent. So I had to hurry up and get out of it. And it's still a little wet, but everything else was dried up. So today's hike, I got 4 miles to the ranger station. Hell, they're probably already there. And then you got 17 to the next water source, the fire station. So I'm gonna have to fill up the whole capacity at the ranger station because I'll have to camp tonight and then have some for tomorrow because they were hiking 21 miles. I'll probably do 15 again, well, or less because I'm so late. So anyway, we have 2 giant climbs. A big one right off the bat, and then a second one that's even big. I don't know if you remember yesterday, I'm showing these big old mountains on the other side, and they had granite in them. Well, hell, that's what they're taking us up. I kind of in the back of my mind figured that. Well, there's the sunrise. And anyway, I got to get my slow butt going. Hadn't even hiked a foot yet. It's 9:30. a 360 view. Well, I got the first climb, I guess, out of the way. There's the trail over there, but it's going up. Up and there by those power lines. I'm guessing somewhere up there is a ranger station. I got 1.8 miles. And I hope them guys save me some water. Well, I made it to the ranger station. There's the ranger station right there, and he's got, looks like almost 10 gallons of water. Thank goodness. I am ready for some water. I am out. I just left the ranger station. Got there about 12. Filled up 4 liters of water, drank a liter, and there were some hunters just walked up. They, I guess, drove up this morning. I went over there, started talking to them, and they go, "Would you like a beer?" First I said no, and I was talking to them. I said, "I got 10 miles to hike." And then I saw the brand, it was Tecate. So I started drinking beer with them. This day is shot. So anyway, it took me 3 hours to climb that, do that 4 miles this morning. It was the hardest climb I've done in the desert. And now I'm on that second climb, and it's not very long, but it's 1,500 feet of elevation and probably a mile. So this will be a tough day, and after 2 beers. So anyway, I'm gonna get after it. Oh, and they told me they asked me if I had a weapon, and I said no. And then they said, well, I don't mean to scare you, but we saw a cougar this morning. And I said, what did it do? And they said, ran like hell. I said, yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna get to hiking. Well, you can see this is where I hiked earlier. I can't, there it is. Little white line, it goes right across the top there. Then it started dipping down, switch backing down to the ranger station, which was kind of a little farther back in that canyon. Yeah, I'm feeling those beers now. This 1,500 foot climb is killing me. I've decided there was a camp spot 6.5 miles from here. And it's gonna be a short day, but there's a burn section coming up at about 10 miles. And all reports are it is hell. It is, they say you're gonna be bushwhacking through there. There's poodle dog bush everywhere, trails overgrown, and poison oak, but that's all dormant now, poison oak. So there's not gonna be campsites in there, and there is some campsites right before the burn section. That's where I was gonna go. It would make another 14, 15 mile day. But when I was at the ranger station, I was reading about them. They said they're all slanted. I hate that. I mean, you just roll off your pad. You'll wake up and be off your pad. So there's a public campground 6.5 from where I was. Thinking about calling it a day. It's a tough day. I'm still climbing. So the first 6 miles of this day is freaking climbing. I got plenty of food, and I'm not in a rush, so I'm just gonna do a 10-mile day. Should have packed out a beer. I didn't even think of that. They would have given me one, I'm sure. They were pretty cool guys. Lord, this is steep. Yeah, I'm definitely stopping at 10.5, 11 miles a day. This section, there was a sign here that said this was an old burn section, and all the trees are dying and weak. Be careful about fallen trees. They're not big, but like, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, right there. There's been 3 or 4 across the trail, and this is overgrown too. There's sticker bushes, sticker trees everywhere. And I got to go through. Ow! So, well, that said, yeah, I'm stopping early, enjoying my camp night. Because, yeah, last night, as I mentioned, when those Sobos came rolling in, hell, we just sat on rocks and talked for like 30, 45. It was starting to get dusky, dark. We hadn't even put our tents up, and I enjoyed that, though. Then so we were basically eating in the dark, and it started getting really cold. And my tent's still a little wet. I need to dry it out good before I get in it tonight. So I'm stopping this Messenger Flats campsite, and I'm gonna be up here. Once we get up here, we're gonna be over 6,000 feet. I think that's probably the highest I've been in the desert. And when I get to the top here, I pretty much stay up there for quite a while until I start hiking, getting close to that fire station. Then we're gonna climb down. So anyway, that's my plan. Dragging the day. I don't know why. You have these days. Plus 6 miles of climbing uphill from 3,000 feet to over 6. That's hard when you hadn't climbed in a while. Okay, enough blabbing. Well, it's 3 o'clock and I'm still climbing this mountain. Jesus. Almost to the top, I think. Anyway, I just ran across a lady. She was heading north, and she said that campground is nice. She said it's right off trail, and they have pit toilets and picnic tables. She saw it from the trail, and she's finishing her hike in Agua Dulce. She's been flipping around, going back, hitting places she hadn't done yet. So anyway, she was worried about getting a ride somewhere, so I gave her Janice's number, and she gave me a number to a trail angel in Wrightwood who's giving rides from the burn section to Wrightwood. Because I was kind of worried about that. So I have his number, and he told her to pass his number out. So it's awesome. So I got me something lined up because after I get to this camp, I'll have 25 miles to the closure. So I'll be missing about 35 miles. And there's nowhere to hike. There's no other trails. And everybody says do not hike that highway, which I wouldn't do anyway. So that was Trail Provides. And I told her about that campsite where I stayed, and she said she saw it on Guthooks, and I told her this is much nicer than Guthooks says even. I said definitely stay there, and that's where she was going to fill up at the ranger station. And of course, it's all downhill for her. Well, now I've gotten to the top of this mountain. Last video I said I was at the top. Nope. And I looked at Guthooks. I was 3.5 from the campsite. And I'm going to be climbing all the way there, basically. I'd have been staying there anyway. There's no way I could have hiked another 5. I mean, pretty much today is going to be 11 miles of climbing. I'm walking into the campsite. It's almost 5 o'clock. PCT is just right up there on the other side of that round bush. There's a little trail that leads down here from the PCT. So they got pit toilets, if they're unlocked, trash cans, picnic tables, and tent sites. Wow. So I'm gonna find me a nice flat one. And hell, they don't look that flat on the side of a hill. But I'll find one. Parking lot only. Well, that one's not too bad up there. Open, there's no wind, thank goodness. So anyway, I'll show you when I get it set up. Well, all right. I got my tent set up. I had to pick a spot in the sun. There's not much sun left because my tent was still wet this morning. So it's drying fast in the sunlight. I'm at mile 23.2. Not sure how many miles. I think it's only 10.5 to 11. This is a pretty cool place. I got a pit toilet right here, and it is unlocked. There's another one up here. Picnic table right here. Fire pit, but of course there's a band in California. There's not a lick of wind. That's probably one of the best pitches I've ever had on that tent because the spot's so dang flat. So it's pretty cool. I'm gonna finish setting up and cook me some dinner. And actually they got, I guess that's a place for a horse over there. Messenger Flats Campground. It says fee required, but I guess you gotta go online and do it. But I don't expect I'll see anybody out here. So anyway, I'm gonna get busy. There's sites, there's picnic tables all over the place. There's one back here. There's actually one even way back there. 4 or 5 on this side, but that was in the shade. That's why I came over here. But I'm about to be in the sun is about to set. So anyway, get busy.